Christmas has come early because it's another mock the mock, third one of the week. Everyone wants to do a mock draft this week. And if you don't know what mock the mock is, well, it's where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock it. I give you my views, thoughts, perspective, and opinions on it. It's so fun to look at other people's mock drafts because it just kind of opens your mind up to different scenarios, different perspectives, different opinions. But today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. That's right. Use promo code Broshmo. Drop a $10 deposit. You get $25 added to that. Then you got $35 of fun money to play around with some football bets, whether it's some parlays or, well, just playing some best ball leagues. But go ahead, do that because by September 13th, it goes to only a 10. You get 10 instead of the 25. So, yeah. We got a Hail Mary podcast, man. He's back on the channel, kind of, sort of. I didn't know he was doing a mock this week. He told me he was. I was like, oh, man, I'll probably do a mock the mock with that. And he kind of walked me through these picks, first, because we were doing the predictions video. By the way, we do NFL prediction videos. Check that out. We're going to be doing it week in, week out. We're going head-to-head against one another and just talking about the games. It's going to be great content. He's a great football mind. Love talking to the dude. Show him some love. His channel's in the description. But we're going to be going over his draft, and then I will have a special mock the mock, hopefully, for you sometime next week with a special guest. Hopefully. We'll find out. Maybe not. But we're going to be looking at his today. And like I said, he kind of walked me through these picks, so we could kind of go through it, take a look at what he does, what he's doing, and kind of like speed through this, man. He's really talking this Texans pick. He's using the draft order from Draft Network, so don't get mad at him for that. All right, Alex. Come on, bruh. So he doesn't go quarterback. I get it. This was kind of a shaky outing for the quarterback class, at least for week one. Malik Willis probably looked among the best. Some people say Matt Corral. Matt Corral looked pretty darn good, and so did Phil Dracovic. But still, it's too early really to say. But I get it. If you're not high on the quarterback class, then go with the best player on your board. That is Kayvon Thibodeaux, man. He he had a great first half against Fresno State before getting hurt. Strip sack that led to the touchdown. Amazing. The dude's probably one of the best prospects in this class. Easy top 3, might be the top overall if the quarterback class doesn't shape up. Then we got the Detroit Lions, and he ends up going with, who do you go with, Alex? Spencer Rattler. Now, this is where I was like, Alex, you kind of lose me on this. If you're willing to take quarterback at number 2, then you best believe I'm willing to take quarterback at number 1. It's the most vital position on the field. If you're like, I don't feel good about Spencer Rattler at number 1, but number 2 is a different story. It's like, no, you just take him at 1. That's still franchise quarterback status right there. Like, so I kind of disagreed with that thought process, but I get it, man. He's a Kayvon Thibodeaux fanboy. It's real easy to be. The guy's a good prospect. But yeah, Detroit, yeah, they're probably gonna be looking for a new quarterback. We could probably jump through a couple of these real quick. He goes Evan Neal. I think Evan Neal is actually his favorite prospect in this class thus far. That'd be a good get for the Bengals. You could throw him on the right side. That is his natural position, though he looked very comfortable on the left side in the opener against Miami. That if you weren't there for our watch along, you got to see me be crushed in person. It was great. Derek Stingley going to the Jets. I like DeMarvin Leal as well. I think he's kind of a solid pick here too, but Derek Stingley, I get it. He's like number 3 on my board. A lot of people, they're fussing about the UCLA game. Have that be a footnote. You don't just drop a prospect for that one game. He had a bad outing. If that's something that like continues this season, then yes, it's like, oh, okay. Yes, we have a problem here. Houston, we have a problem. Well, New York, we have a problem. But I'm not gonna drop him off my board altogether for that game. But yeah, corner help desperately needed for the Jets. Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going Kyle Hamilton. I like that. He's probably the top player on the board here. DeMarvin Leal, I kind of like him in a 5-tech role. So, and I know they invested in a lot of free agents for that role, but still, man, Leal, man, he's one of my favorite prospects. But Hamilton, geez, that Florida State performance, like, the dude is special. The dude is special. And I mean, you could line him up at linebacker. You could line him up probably on the outside. You could do a lot of creative things with him. It's not like, oh, but we have enough safeties as is. Because, I mean, Rayshon Jenkins, he's all right. They did draft Andre Sisco. So it's, I mean, regardless, I think, okay, if either one of those guys don't work out, then you have Hamilton, and Hamilton's a very versatile piece. Just draft good players. So with the Eagles, I always like to go quarterback here because I believe if you're picking 6th overall, Jalen Hurts didn't look good. He goes with DeMarvin Leal, which is kind of the MO of it's the MO of what the Eagles love to do. They love to just beef up the trenches, and I don't think that changes, man, because I think it's Jonathan Gannon, I believe is the defensive coordinator's name. He's a Mike Zimmer guy. He likes to pressure the B gaps. You get to Marvin Leal, that's a guy that can play inside and out. He helps you do that, so they keep investing in the trenches there. I mean, it's a believable pick to me, and plus I love Leal. Atlanta Falcons, I think we kind of agreed on this pick when we were talking about it. Yeah, he goes Kaiir Elam. I would have been like, oh man, I think maybe Andrew Booth here because I feel like he might be a Dean Pease guy. More so just because he's kind of an athletic freak. Dean Pease, he likes those athletic guys. He likes guys he could rely in man coverage and cover zero. Be like, hey, you're on your own. You're on an island. Go handle your business. Which Elam is that as well. He's just not nearly as fast. But both are great prospects. I love Elam, so I don't disagree. Las Vegas Raiders, man, I'd be taking a quarterback. I wonder if he does here too. Because it's funny. I'm trying to remember what he picks in this mock draft as well. So he goes with, oh, that's right. He goes Tyler Linderbaum. And I'm like, Sam Howell, Malik Willis, like, if you're the Raiders, you're drafting in the top 10, move on from Carr, man. You have to. You just have to. Like, you're just going to keep being this mediocre team, you know, unless you get the quarterback position, until you find a quarterback that could at least bump your team over the hump. Because, like, look what finding an elite quarterback, and I know a lot of people be like, well, this isn't the class of an elite quarterback. Well, there's only one quarterback's off the board. There should be other top ones. Unless we're dealing with the Kyler Murray draft where it's like, oh, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, oh, you know. But I don't think this quarterback class is that bad. I think this quarterback class is very talented. Just not nearly as talented as last year. At least at the top half. But because like you see it with like a Russell Wilson. That team, it's okay, but he's what makes them consistent playoff contenders. And like, just, man, yeah. I get it. Tyler Linderbaum, I don't know if he's a Tom Cable guy. I was thinking of Fitz too. But he was talking about this is what I would do if I were drafting. And like, I kind of like consider a coaching staff and stuff for my picks. So I don't know. I really don't think Tom Cable will look at Tyler Linderbaum and be like, yeah, he typically likes the meteor guys. So Linderbaum sub 300. So, I think he goes. Do you go quarterback for the Giants? Oh, he's talking about it. Oh, he does. He goes Sam Howell. So Sam Howell goes here at 9. I'd be willing then to take him there at 6, 7, or 8. 7's kind of disputable. Like, you can dispute that depending on what they want to do with Matt Ryan. But Sam Howell, dude, like, again, another guy. You go back, watch that Virginia Tech game. Like, his play is not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. A lot of that is on the offensive line. A lot of that is on the lack of playmakers for that squad. Like, I was going back, and if you haven't checked out, I'll leave it in the iCard. My I did a video where I went over a ton of prospects, how they did week one, used some game footage where I went back to all three of his interceptions where I was like, I'd give one of them, like, I basically gave him all the benefit of the doubt. I think really one you could really chalk up to, yeah, this is him, but it was like at the end of the game where he's trying to get his team downfield to score a touchdown. And he's just getting pressured, man. And he's getting wrapped around, and he makes a throw, an error throw. Probably should have just threw it out of bounds, but I mean, he was trying to make plays for his squad. I understand, but yeah, I'd take Sam Howell here. Jackson Kirkland, I like this pick. Kirkland had a banger game against Montana, and I know you'd be like, Montana, but I mean, he's building off from last year's hype. He looked great last year. He's a 6'7" cat that doesn't let guys out leverage him. I like that. I like that a lot because typically you get to that 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" range, and it's like these guys have trouble with rushers getting under their pads, but he does not have that. He's athletic, quick feet. He can mirror really anybody. I like that. And you know what? Jacksonville, they need a left tackle desperately. We're back with the Giants pick. Where do you go here, Alex? I'm curious. Kenyan Green, that's right. I guessed this one. I like this idea of Kenyan Green. He could play right tackle because that's where he's playing right now. He would put out a dominant effort against Kent State. You know, if I had someone give me the crap because I was like, I think Texas A&M played some FCS team, and they were like, actually, they faced Kent State, who's one of the better teams in the MAC. And I'm like, okay, so compared to this SEC team that is what, ranked number 5 in the nation, an FCS team. Get out of here. They got blown out like an FCS team, so how about that? And I just mentioned Montana, who literally just upset Washington. But Kenny Green, he's going to be a really good guard, but you could probably work him at right tackle if you want, or you could play him at guard. He played there at left guard, so you don't have to move Will Hernandez. Though I think Will Hernandez, I forgot what his natural position was. Was it the left or right guard spot? I don't know. Regardless, you could play around with that offensive line. I like having that ability. I imagine this is a corner for the Cardinals. Let's jump a few picks here. It's Ahmad Gardner. Makes sense. Ahmad Gardner, absolute banger. They didn't even throw his way this past week, but it was Miami, Ohio. What do you expect? Dude's a good corner. Arizona, they need that. Washington football team, I believe this should be quarterback. I think Malik Willis. All right. I think this is a Ron Rivera type guy. I kind of like that. I think Riverboat Ron will look at this and be like, big armed, can run. I'll take one of those. And I mean, they don't have to start him right away. They could bring back Fitzmagic. And honestly, I don't even mind. Oh my gosh, who's the backup that played at Old Dominion? For stinking Washington QBs. Tyler Heinecke, thank you. Golly, dude. Just had a big freaking brain fart. So I kind of like this. I kind of feel like the Steelers have to go quarterback here again, too. So Matt Corral. Alex is a lot higher than I am on Matt Corral. I mean, we both agree that decision making is a big thing, which he showed very good decision making against that Louisville squad. I was very impressed. He played turnover free, which is what you like to see, and he had like 340 some yards through the air, man. It's gonna be a fun season. I don't want to see those big mental breakdowns from him. So hopefully we don't. But Matt Corral, they move on from Big Ben. Don't have to do it right away, but they probably could. Minnesota Vikings, they go Andrew Booth. I kind of like this. They're really struggling to find just some consistency at corner. Booth, he could bring that. The dude is stupid athletic, probably the fastest corner in this class. That's not Derek Stingley. Denver Broncos, does he go quarterback here too? Yeah, he goes with Carson Strong. So finally they get a quarterback that could throw down the field. Golly, dude. I bet you KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Judy, they're all like, yes, finally, our receptions matter on 20-plus yards. But yeah, Denver, wow, they got them here at 16. I think that's about right. I think they're like a 500 team. Depending on how Teddy plays, they could be a above 500 team. But yeah, I kind of like that. We got the Los Angeles Superchargers. Okay, so we go receiver back to back here, and we were talking about this because I was like, man, like I know Mike Williams is a free agent. He might not be brought back, but they just got Josh Palmer. I feel like they're okay at wide receiver depth, but I don't mind. Like, go ahead and bring out who you deem the best receiver in the class. Olavi's a guy that can kick into the slot, can play on the outside. He's got some real burners, and he's showcased some after the catch ability now. Thank you. And I mean legit after the catch, like people in front of him, not just blazing by them. But yeah, man, I like this pick. And then Garrett Wilson, he really likes them to Garrett Wilson to the Patriots. Very good route runner, can create after the catch. That's kind of ideal for Mac Jones. And then the Nolans Saints corner, maybe? Yeah, no, he goes Treylon Burks. Yeah, you know what? The wide receiver position's kind of trash there. Treylon Burks coming off of, apparently he was kind of beat up, and he was kind of a game time decision, decided to play. Had 2 drops. Expected him to come out and be better later on. Trent McDuffie, I think, is a solid pick here for the Eagles. So, yeah, they get help in the secondary. So what? They now have... Because I don't think he went quarterback early. So they got Neal, and then he has McDuffie. Okay. That's solid. Actually, I think in my last mock, I had the Jets taking Neal and McDuffie. That's pretty funny. I think he stole this pick. Not stole this pick, but he agreed with me on this pick with Adam Anderson, because I kind of see it as a replacement for Randy Gregory. They kind of liked having a stand-up rush linebacker. They did it with Olden Smith the year before, and you might be like, well, Dan Quinn's the offensive coordinator now. It's like, yeah, or defensive coordinator, excuse me. Yeah, Dan Quinn likes that in his defense too. So, yeah, it fits, dude. Get a guy that has tremendous get-off. The New York Jets. They got Stanley. Where does he go here? Sean Ryan, that's right. He really wants to replace George Fant. Like, really bad. He wants to replace George Fant. Oh, really bad. And I know some people are going to be out there talking about Morgan Moats. He's on a 1-year deal, man. Calm down. You don't know if he's coming back. Sean Ryan, I like a lot. I like him a lot, but I feel this might be a little too high for him. As I talked to, go check out, I'm telling you, check out that prospect video, prospect analysis from week 1. Sean Ryan, I thought he had a really good game against LSU, but there were some spots where I was like, not great. So at the Colts pick here, he goes Zion Nelson. He really wants to replace, because Eric Fisher's on a 1-year deal. Then again, I mean, you can bring back Fisher. Zion Nelson doesn't have to be someone you start immediately. He's probably one of the more athletic tackles in this class. I like him a lot. You kind of worry about how he plays the run, though, which I don't know how that will line up with the Colts' Russian concepts and Russian scheme and blocking scheme. But because you worry about his anchor being a little light. I know this Tennessee pick's Nick Benito. I guessed this one off the bat when we were talking, because it's just Nick Benito. I feel like he's gonna be you have to have a role in mind, or he's a very scheme dependent prospect, just because he's this finesse pass rusher that's a little light. And for me, I was like, yeah, Bill Belichick would know exactly what to do with him. So Mike Vrabel being a Bill Belichick guy, it makes sense here. And I believe Harold Landry's a free agent after this season or next season. I can't recall. The Browns go Christian Harris. Totally makes sense. They could definitely improve that linebacker core in the middle because JOK is going to be this like weak side linebacker that you occasionally maybe dump into the slot. So like he's got that type of flexibility and coverage. The dude's a speed demon. So Christian Harris there to shore up the middle is real nice, real sexy. Me and him talked about this Dolphins pick. I kind of like I got Kingsley Enagbare. He is like 12th overall on my board, and I'm all about taking guys that are falling. Just take best player available, man. I'm all about that. But he was talking about this being maybe a Emmanuel, what is it, Anagba? I always mess up his name, but being a potential replacement for him. I mean, that's up in the air for however you feel about it. I think regardless, best player available. I don't mind just grabbing talented players. Baltimore Ravens, who do you do? Daniel Falele, that's right. I think this is a little high for me. Daniel Falele, I like him as a prospect. I like him better as a day 2 guy. I don't think he's like, to be fair, this tackle class, it doesn't look that top heavy. Like there's definitely a lot of guys I would love to draft in day 2 that I wouldn't touch in day 1. Falele is one of them. Just the dude's a mountain of a man, but like he doesn't really impose his will. And then this has to be Drake London to the Packers. It's perfect fit. Devontae, he's a free agent after this season. Show me Drake London, makes perfect sense. Alex, he's really high on Darion Kendrick. I like Darion Kendrick a lot. It's just his boneheadedness keeps him out of the first round for me. But Buffalo, they could use an upgrade at cornerback too. Like Levi Wallace is fine. Dane Jackson, I was kind of hoping might challenge him in camp. That never really happened. So grabbing some more competition isn't a bad thing, especially at the cornerback position. You want to be really deep there. Detroit Lions, there's really no receivers on the board here. I wonder where he goes. Oh, he scrolls down. Drake Jackson on the edge. Drake Jackson's kind of ideal to be like a stand-up linebacker, a Y9 guy. I mean, you've seen the movement skills, you've seen the athleticism, you saw the interception this past week. He's just a guy I want to see consistent pressure from. But I like him at the tail end of this first round. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go Darion Kinnard. I didn't think we were going to see a lot of true pass sets this season from Kentucky. And holy moly, they have a passing game. Holy moly, they have a passing game. We're seeing Kinnard actually play a little bit in the passing game. This is like, that's not like dictated by play action or screens and stuff like that. So this is kind of dope. I don't know if he makes it the first round. Like he plays left tackle, but he's likely a guard. But you're the Buccaneers. You can do whatever the heck you want. Grab who you want. You're basically set at every position. And then I'm pretty sure this is Zach Harrison, right? Scroll down, my dude. Yeah, Zach Harrison. It just makes a lot of sense. Spag, he loves these bigger athletic edges. And pairing him up with, like, if you want to keep Chris Jones on the outside, especially with everything going on with Frank Clark, he's kind of like, you don't know if you're going to have him or not. So that's just a pick that makes a ton of sense. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Go ahead and do that YouTube thing. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.